Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now, Special Edition.
Good evening and thanks for staying up with us. I'm Emily Bloom. Fall and winter weather are combining this week for some colorful foliage and icy roads. Meteorologist Matt Gray is here in studio to let us all know what the weather forecast is looking like for the rest of our weekend and heading into the work week.
Yeah, I'm going to need the ice scrapers again for the morning as we are tracking quite a bit of fog now that's developed across the inland northwest. In fact, right around the Pullman area, we saw this fog roll in during the Coos game today, and it has slowly begun to spread across the Palouse and track up to the north. We're also seeing some fog and low clouds around Winthrop, Omak, now sagging down out of Canada into Bonners Ferry, and starting to see more fog development around Kootenai County as well at this hour. Basically, the fog slowly but surely tracking to the north and has rolled in now to places like the South Hill and Medical Lake. And we continue to see that lingering fog around the Bayview area and even creeping now down into the heart of the Rathdrum Prairie. So at least for the middle portion of the night, I think it is going to be fairly foggy around the Spokane area. You can see some of these winds around the Palouse that are kind of pushing up towards the I-90 corridor and the metro. So that'll leave a nice little icy reminder for us again in the morning. Temperatures well below freezing already. 23. Look at that. Sandpoint, Bonners Ferry, and down to 21 already in Colville. In the teens already in Winthrop. So what else is new? Another cold night. We'll see patchy fog off and on as we head through the night and into the morning. I'll take a deeper look at the fog forecast if you are up early getting stuff done on Sunday, plus how long this cold weather is going to stick around. That's coming up.
Thanks, Matt. Well, tonight, one child is dead and another is in the hospital. The father and a third brother are still missing following a canoe accident on the Columbia National Wildlife Refuge last night. The 32-year-old father and his 3 sons, ages 6, 8, and 10, went to Steep Lake to fish and their canoe turned over. The 10-year-old boy was able to make it to shore, but his father and 2 brothers did not. Family members became concerned when the group didn't return home. They went searching for the family and found the boy around 10 p.m. The 10-year-old was taken to the hospital for treatment. Rescuers found the body of the 8-year-old and are still searching for the father and the youngest brother. And you can find the latest updates on that story on KXLY.com. An apartment fire left one woman dead in Browns Addition early this morning. The Spokane Fire Department responded to the scene just past 3 a.m. When firefighters got to the scene, they found a woman in cardiac arrest. SPD pulled her out of the apartment and attempted to resuscitate her. Everyone inside the apartment building was evacuated and accounted for. The name of the woman who died will be released later by SPD's Major Crimes Unit and the Spokane County Coroner. And a child has life-threatening injuries from a shooting incident involving 2 cars in the Seattle suburbs, according to the Washington State Patrol. Trooper Rick Johnson said on Twitter yesterday that the shooting happened in Renton near Interstate 405, and the 9-year-old was taken to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. The suspect vehicle in the incident is a Ford Mustang, and anyone with information is urged to contact State Patrol. In our For the People coverage today, AP has announced the Democrats will keep their majority in the Senate. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto's victory in Nevada today put the chamber in the hands of the Democrats, giving them the 50 seats needed regardless of the outcome of next month's runoff election in Georgia. And people living in Spokane's West Hills area have voiced their concerns over the Catalyst project. That is Catholic Charity's newest housing project coming to the neighborhood. People living there say they have concerns about the project, especially because they say they don't feel they have any say in it. Bronte Sorotsky attended a public meeting hosted by the group Preserve West Hills and shares what was discussed.
Well, people living in the West Hills neighborhood say they were stunned when they found out the Catalyst project was coming to their neighborhood. They say they didn't ask for this, but the shelter is coming to them anyways. A group known as Preserve West Hills says they have been meeting with Catholic Charities to understand and share with neighbors the changes coming to their neighborhood.
I don't feel any better about having a shelter in my neighborhood. I don't feel safer. I don't think my neighbors feel safer. I'd like to know what they're going to do for my safety.
Concerned West Hills neighbors gathered in Restoration Church Saturday to hear Catalyst Project updates presented by a group called Preserve West Hills.
It was an ad hoc group that formed in in reaction to hearing the news.
Annie Ishii is a member of the group. She says she, along with others, met with Catholic Charities multiple times to get answers.
Oh, there were some things that were hard to accept, and that is that they did not notify or engage our community because they felt they had an obligation to the owner of the Quality Inn motel to keep it secret until the deal was done.
Now, she says the shelter is set to start accepting residents from Camp Hope, Hope House, and House of Charity on December 1st.
And they will be phasing them in. They won't have all of their beds filled with the full 100. It will be done in phases.
Other neighbors at the meeting say they'd like to have more of a say when it comes to the new shelter.
A lot of information that we already can have. So my main point, like I say, it's coming in. So what can we do with Catholic Charities to start negotiating some things that we want to make us happy?
Catholic Charities and other officials weren't at this meeting. Instead, Don Kinder, lead of the project, wrote a letter to neighbors stating that they're taking steps to ensure the Catalyst project will be safe for everyone. That includes a fence around the perimeter, bag checks for visitors, and a phone line for West Hill neighbors to contact if they feel unsafe. And no Catholic charity officials or city leaders were invited to attend this meeting. I'm told this was to keep the meeting peaceful and productive. I did reach out to Catholic Charities and haven't heard back. Live in studio, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Around the nation tonight, an air show about 10 miles outside of Dallas, Texas turned tragic this afternoon when 2 planes collided and crashed. No word yet from authorities on how many people were on the 2 aircrafts, but initial reports are that no one on the ground was injured. Here's ABC's Christine Sloan with the details.
2 historic military planes collided and crashed to the ground Saturday, sending plumes of black smoke into the sky over Dallas's executive airport.
Sending alert 3 at Redford Airport. We had an air collision. It's down on the airport.
According to the FAA, a Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress and a Bell P-63 King Cobra collided during the commemorative Air Force wings over Dallas's air show.
This is a World War II flight demonstration type air show where we highlight the aircraft and their capabilities and what actually happened in World War II. It's very patriotic.
Boeing says most B-17s were scrapped at the end of World War II, with only a handful remaining today, largely featured at museums and in air shows.
This is not about the aircraft. It's just not, I can tell you. The aircraft are great aircraft. They're safe. They're very well maintained. The pilots are very well trained. It's difficult for me to talk about it because I know all these people. These are family, and they're good friends.
Debris from the crash fell onto a nearby highway, leading authorities to shut down the road in both directions. The FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board will investigate the cause of the collision, with the NTSB taking the lead. Christine Sloan, ABC News, New York.
And your street may be covered in snow and leaves, but not for long. Coming up, the city of Spokane's schedule to clean up leaves on our streets. And millions of veterans across the nation are experiencing homelessness. This Veterans Day weekend, we look into the resources available to help them right here in Spokane. And some hospitals across the nation are full with children in the ICU because of RSV and other viruses threatening their lives.
And the cold weather continues without pause as we head through this weekend. It has been a very cold November. It doesn't look like we have much of an end to that in sight. We'll take you through more chilly temperatures and who could have a chance of a flurry and when. Coming up.
News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Kelly's all new.
That's you, girl.
Awful.
Weekdays at 4. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
There are many different ways that Numerica gives back. Financial education is my way of giving back to the community by being able to help members in branch and getting the opportunity to go out into schools and teach kids about how to put themselves in a better position financially.
With Old Man Winter waking up, it's the perfect time to treat yourself with a new all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive Toyota. From Findlay, downtown Toyota. Hit the slopes in style in a new 4Runner. Or take that family getaway in your new Toyota Highlander. Plus, peace of mind comes standard, as every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care. So if you need a safe, reliable winter ride, you can find it at Findlay.
Findlay Toyota's downtown.
You're building a home or updating an existing one. You want windows to be strong, beautiful, long-lasting, and durable. You want options to express creativity and increase your home's curb appeal. You want to feel secure in your investment. Then choose Milgard Windows and Doors from River City Glass. Both are industry leaders with the highest quality materials and windows that are backed by a lifetime warranty to include parts and labor. Residential and commercial, Milgard Windows and Doors. Call River City Glass today or visit their showroom at 6615 East Main.
Oh, life, how we admire you, are deeply fascinated by you. All your twists and turns and wild rides you take us on. The ups and the downs. Life, you live inside all of us, breathing, growing, beating. You are the reason we'll always provide world-class healthcare. Providence, we see the life in you.
The doctor will see you now. But do they really? Do they see that crick in your neck? That ache in your heart? Will they see that funny little thing that wasn't there last year? The new bounce in your step? The way your retinal scan connects to your blood sugar? At Kaiser Permanente, all of us work together to care for all that is you.
The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs says more than 33,000 veterans are experiencing homelessness. While that number is lower than it was a few years ago, it's still an ongoing issue for many veterans across the country. Volunteers of America in Spokane helps homeless veterans get the tools they need to return to a normal life. One of the biggest things veterans need are mental health services. Some veterans might not even realize they struggle with PTSD or other mental health issues. One Spokane veteran says the services there have helped him feel more safe and stable than he has in years.
This is as safe as I've felt in probably 20 years. Even though I had great jobs, I just recently had a rather high government position, and that collapsed because of the PTSD piece kicking in. So I'm taking my time. I can stay here for quite a while. I got local support.
The VOA says Spokane does have a large amount of homeless veterans. Right now, their transitional veteran housing helps 20 people, but they have a team that is constantly going out and looking for more veterans experiencing homelessness to offer resources. And also a new place for veterans to receive medical and supportive care in Idaho is now open in Post Falls. It opened just in time for Veterans Day. It's now the 4th veterans home run by the Idaho Division of Veterans Services. Other campuses are in Boise, Pocatello, and Lewiston. The Post Falls campus is a state-of-the-art building with 4 neighborhoods of rooms and 64 rooms total. Veterans who receive care here can expect a private single bed, a single bath, space to live in.
Veteran has their absolute own space. They don't share it with another veteran. It's probably offering them the best quality of life that's possible in a 24/7 medical facility.
To qualify as a resident, you need to be a veteran that has around-the-clock medical needs. The Veterans Home also has amenities that make it feel like a community, such as a dining area, a barber shop and a salon, a physical therapy room, and a chapel. The home is also hiring for various healthcare, culinary, administrative, and maintenance jobs. For more information about the new Post Falls Veterans Home, see this story on KXLY.com. Starting tomorrow, the city of Spokane will be cleaning up leaves left on the street. The city's street maintenance division removes the leaves on the street to prevent any bad street conditions from developing. The city says leaves that fall in your yard are your responsibility. The refuse department will accept leaves on your property for a small fee. There are 3 different crews picking up leaves tomorrow. Hand-picked crews will be in areas with light leaf fall, and they will be working overnight from 10 p.m. to 9:30 a.m. And lodal crews come to smaller areas with heavy leaf fall. These crews will have 10-wheel dump trucks and will be working from 7 a.m. to 3 in the afternoon. Packer crews will be in large areas with heavy leaf fall, and these crews could come from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. The city is asking that we move vehicles off of the streets and away from the leaves. And we have got meteorologist Matt Gray in studio with everything that we need to know about our weather conditions that are going to be changing and everything that you need to know for the remainder of our weekend.
It's a big job with all those leaves, and certainly going to be a little bit less fun, as if breaking leaves and all that was ever fun with these chilly temperatures. Look at this. We're down to 20 right now in Meade. Big difference between there and downtown Spokane, where we're sitting much more comfortable at 30 degrees. You notice a lot of the temperatures to the south here in the metro, or at least the metro region, are all pretty much the same, but much colder as you head further to the north. And the cloud cover and the fog that's been moving across the Palouse, one ingredient to that puzzle right there. But still fairly mild compared to some other evenings that we have seen. There is that fog slowly trying to creep its way across I-90, and at least so far looking like it is doing so fairly successfully, slowly but surely going to be working its way into our region and creating an icy mess as we get into the early hours of the morning. So we'll likely be a little bit more slippery out there in the morning hours, plus you got to have that extra ice scraper time. Your car's probably going to look like a popsicle. So here we go. This is the forecast fog simulation. None of the computers are doing a great job with this, but this is about as close as we could get. As we cool down even more around Deer Park and Meade, I do expect some fog to start to develop there on its own. And as we head into the wee hours of the morning, I don't think this is going to be an all-night type of situation as far as a big bank of fog that's just going to be sitting over us all day and through much of tomorrow as well. I think there will be some patchiness and some breakup in here, and I'll show you why when we take a bit of a wider view. That's because we do expect the winds to shift a little bit, and so all of that fog that's sitting across the Palouse is eventually going to push its way down to the south and start to dissipate a little bit as it starts to rise up the mountains. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Either way, keep an eye out for some of that fog that will linger on into the morning. Our lows tonight, 23 in Coeur d'Alene, but on the West Plains, we should get down into the teens, single digits again for Colville. A little bit warmer in places like Omak and Winthrop because there is some cloud cover trying to drop down from Canada tonight. 20 in Pullman and 19 for Ritzville. Overall, a pretty nice looking day. It will be cloudier. It will be on the foggy side to start off, but we'll see that sunshine pop out again in the afternoon. Probably a little bit cloudier than what we saw today, and temperatures in the mid-30s, so we can keep some of those icicles continuing to get off of the roof. As we head through the afternoon, here's some warm spots. 45 for Lewiston, 38 in Pullman. Even Winthrop gets up to a nice temperature, 25 degrees. When will this cold weather end? Probably not anytime soon, but here is a look now at next week, and this is an encouraging sign. Between November 20th and 26th, some important Thanksgiving travel time, some warmth over on the west side. Hopefully we can get some of that warmth over to us, but for now, I would say that is somewhat unlikely. So foggy weather for the next few days, temperatures staying roughly in the same territory. Keep an eye on this, though. Wednesday night into Thursday, a small chance for snow for some places before cooler air comes back in. I'll show you that coming up in the next half hour.
Thanks, Matt. Well, we do have more stories coming up for you on 4 News Now. Students at a middle school in St. Louis got sick after eating edibles infused with marijuana. School administration on the conversations parents need to have at home to keep their kids safe. And an all-inclusive experience could be coming to a nature park near you. Soon, all-terrain wheelchairs will be able to join in for nature exploration.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. Oh, creamy ranch. Oh, melty Swiss. Oh, roasty beef. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
The Black Friday sale is on this holiday weekend at More Furniture for Less.
Furniture for your entire home is priced to sell for the holiday season, and new stock is arriving daily.
The best deals are here to create cozy living rooms, inviting dining spaces, and restful bedrooms, all in time for the holidays.
But don't wait. Visit your local showroom now for the best selection and biggest values.
It's all going on this holiday weekend, only at More Furniture for Less.
When weather hits, the Good Morning Northwest team is ready.
Slippery morning drive. 20 school districts either closed or delayed.
The snow is continuing to fall.
Getting you prepared on Good Morning Northwest. That's what we mean when we say, expect more. When weather hits, the Good Morning Northwest team is ready.
Slippery morning drive. 20 school districts either closed or delayed.
The snow is continuing to fall.
Getting you prepared on Good Morning Northwest. That's what we mean when we say, expect more.
Change is just a part of life. As humans, we're wired to handle life's changes, big and small. COVID-19 is one of those changes, and it's sticking around for a while, whether we like it or not. Each new wave requires us to adapt, to adjust, but together, we will. COVID keeps changing, but so can we. Visit takecarewa.org to learn how.
This is a town called Basic. It's pretty hard to stand out around here. But if you pull up in a 2022 Nissan Rogue, you'll stand out before your feet even hit the pavement.
Can you make mine look like that?
Anything but basic. The 2022 Nissan Rogue. Get 2.19% financing for 36 months on the 2022 Nissan Rogue with best-in-class fuel economy.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. Now that is a buffalo chicken sandwich. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
Good morning.
Rise and shine.
Watch Daytime's #1 duo, weekdays at 9 a.m.
For weeks, we've been telling you about the surge in cases of RSV filling pediatric units in hospitals across the country. Behind each one of those cases is a family terrified about the health of their baby. Reporter Ross Ketchy in Portland, Maine spoke with a mom whose daughter has been in the ICU for nearly 2 weeks.
She was born at 29 weeks. She was 2 pounds 10 ounces, so she was teeny tiny.
This is baby Rue. After being born 11 weeks early, she and her mom, Shannon Goodwin, have become all too familiar with the natal ICU.
You know, she's only had 3 weeks home with us out of 3 months. She turned 3 months old yesterday.
Those 3 weeks were cut short late last month when Rue was diagnosed with RSV. Goodwin says what started as a simple cough and some wheezing quickly turned into something much more serious.
She was gray and limp. She wouldn't react to you touching her.
She rushed her daughter to the pediatrician's office where Rue's temperature was dropping and she was struggling to breathe.
They called 911, rushed her to the hospital where they tried to intubate her 7 times. And then they had to do CPR for 4.5 minutes because they lost her heartbeat.
Rue had to be med-flighted from their local hospital in New Hampshire, but because of a surge in cases of RSV and other respiratory viruses in children and infants, finding a hospital with room for her was a challenge.
They had come in and said, we tried to call Mass, they don't have any beds. We're going to try Dartmouth. We're going to try Maine Medical. Maine Medical is the only one with a bed available.
She was placed on a ventilator, and days of waiting began for Goodwin and her family. Her oldest son had RSV just a few years ago, but it was nothing like this.
He had a waterfall runny nose. He had a cough. He was fine.
We're happy to say that after 10 days, Rue was taken off the ventilator. She still has a ways to go, but every day she's getting closer to being back home with her mom and siblings.
I got to hold her finally. And I cried, like a lot. 10 days is a long time to not hold your baby.
Goodwin's family has set up a GoFundMe to help pay for their travel and medical expenses, and she wants other parents out there to know the warning signs of RSV and just how serious that simple cough can get.
You don't ever think that you're going to be in the position I'm in. It doesn't cross your mind until you're living it.
In Portland, I'm Ross Ketchke for Maine's Total News Coverage.
And RSV cases continue to climb among children, and they're the ones that are most at risk of becoming extremely sick. Our local health leaders will be sharing updates about the situation here in Spokane on Monday. In our coverage from last Friday, 7-year-old Jackson started to feel sick. His dad tells us initially it seemed like a common cold. By Sunday, they were telling us that he was beet red when coughing, and they decided to get him in to see a doctor. They took him in Tuesday morning, and within 2 hours, he was in the ER with poor oxygen levels. They did an x-ray and found his lung had partially collapsed. His dad tells us if you start hearing that cough in your own kids and it becomes consistent, you should get them checked out by a doctor.
He came in, the emergency room was packed with kids. Packed. I mean, I've never seen it that busy with children.
Everybody's immune system is sort of, I don't know, naive again. It hasn't seen anything for a while, and so as soon as it sees something, it latches on. And RSV is now just easier to get.
Pediatricians say this is not a new virus. It's simply happening sooner, and our isolation throughout the pandemic could be the cause. The good news here is that Jackson is on the mend. He made major improvements last night, going his first night without oxygen, and he wasn't headed home just yet as his damaged lung was not fully healed, but they are headed in that direction. And several students at a St. Louis middle school had to go to the hospital this week after ingesting marijuana edibles. The incident shines a light on kids' curiosity and just as much on parents and the community's roles in educating them. Justina Cornell reports.
Locally and nationwide, we have been seeing more kids either accidentally or intentionally ingesting edibles.
The nonprofit Prevent Ed has been seeing this problem grow.
Kids are curious. Not all kids even know what it is that they're doing.
Northside Community School in Midtown St. Louis is now dealing with that scenario.
A couple of students who brought to school some candy edibles, and they were giving those to other kids.
The school's executive director says 2 8th graders shared the cannabis-infused candies with other classmates Thursday.
6 students in all, 3 went to the hospital. All 3 of them were doing fine. The students who had brought the edibles, we referred them to law enforcement.
School officials believe this is connected to curiosity, especially after Amendment 3 passing this week, which legalizes recreational marijuana use in Missouri for adults.
That maybe sparked some interest, in what is this that's passed and people are talking about and celebrating about. So we think it had a lot to do with that, a lot of curiosity.
When you're dealing with kids who might be making some rash decisions because their brains still aren't fully developed, then that's just sort of a perfect storm for something like what happened yesterday.
Prevent Ed works with more than 200 schools educating families on topics just like these ones.
How can caregivers, how can family members talk to their kids early? We suggest early and often. Who is allowed to give you medicine? If you see something that you don't know what it is, what should you do?
The organization's executive director and school officials believe this could be an opportunity to learn an important lesson.
Whether they knew or did not know, that's where the role of parents and the community come in to make sure that our kids are really educated.
And outdoor enthusiasts who have mobility issues are getting help from a number of state parks. Specially designed all-terrain power wheelchairs are growing in popularity. Georgia's Department of Natural Resources is partnering with the Amy Copeland Foundation to offer the chairs at nearly a dozen of its parks free of charge. Minnesota just completed a month-long pilot program with the chairs in 5 parks. In South Dakota, a second chair is being added to its program. Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore in Michigan is the first national park to offer a chair. The vehicles cost more than $12,000 each, with local foundations often picking up the tab. And for the first time in 67 years, characters in wheelchairs are now represented in one of Disneyland's attractions. The California theme park on Friday unveiled 2 dolls in wheelchairs on the It's a Small World ride. The project took more than half a year, and what the resort says is its aim to look, quote, with a magnifying glass for opportunities for inclusion. In a statement, the president of nonprofit Disability Inn says the new dolls are a, quote, fantastic addition. The It's a Small World ride opened at the Anaheim Park in 1966. Guests on the attraction ride, they ride a boat through the scenes representing multiple countries with audio animatronic figures that represent children. 4 News Now will be right back.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Thanks to you, we have collected thousands of coats during this year's Coats for Kids campaign. The coats have now been cleaned thanks to Alsco and are ready for distribution. If you know a child in need of a warm winter coat, go to KXLY.com/coatsforkids to find a distribution location near you.
All of us at Jewelry Design Center would like to give a huge thank you to the community for donating amazing coats. We were more than proud to be a part of this awesome tradition for Spokane.
At Cal Cars, we're proud to live in the United States of America. We are blessed with so many opportunities provided by our servicemen and women that this Veterans Weekend, we'd like to pause and give thanks to our armed forces and give everyone a free American flag who comes in for a test drive at any one of our 3 locations. And in celebration of this 84th Veterans Day, we will be donating $184 for each vehicle sold to Heroes Homestead this week at Cal.
Oh, life, how we admire you, are deeply fascinated by you. All your twists and turns and wild rides you take us on. The ups and the downs. Life, you live inside all of us, breathing, growing, beating. You are the reason we'll always provide world-class healthcare. Providence, we see the life in you.
Remote car starts, light bars, aggressive winter tires. Nobody knows how to prepare your vehicle better for winter than the pros at Snow's Auto. And this week, they are marking down some of the best buys of the year on all stereos, speakers, subwoofers, and amps as we give thanks to our rides in November with cool new upgrades to keep you warm in the cold months ahead. Snow's Auto does it all.
Hey, Greens. How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
More Americans choose ABC News, America's #1 news source.
We continue with coverage on staffing shortages at the Geiger Correctional Facility. Officials tell us that they're running into several challenges to recruit and maintain correction staff, despite offering $7,500 sign-on bonuses. While Geiger is ramping up its recruiting efforts, it could be a while before they are fully staffed. Even if they hired everyone they needed right now, the new hires would have to work through the 9-month training process to become corrections officers. Another challenge is that there are limited academy courses offered in Washington each year. Each course offers just 35 spots, and jails all across the state are vying for them. Also, once they're trained, it's common for corrections officers to transfer to different branches in law enforcement.
Challenge is that the jail is kind of a feeder for law enforcement. Our training is similar, so the jail is an easy spot for law enforcement to pick up, officers from, because a lot of the work, front-end work has already been done.
Geiger Correctional Facility recently hired 7 people as corrections officers. 3 are already transferring to Spokane Police Department. And turkeys can't fly, but they've motivated many Americans to take to the air. The travel app Hopper predicts 70% of people in the U.S. will be traveling to spend the Thanksgiving holiday with family and friends. Roughly 3.3 million people will be hitting the road the Sunday before Thanksgiving Thursday. And according to findings, Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International will be the busiest airport in the U.S., followed by Dallas-Fort Worth, Denver International, JFK, and LAX. And with less than 2 weeks until Black Friday, retailers are out with the early deals to get your attention and your dollars. Target is offering its holiday price match guarantee through Christmas Eve, and at Walmart, keep an eye out for Monday deals.
Keep in mind that the bulk of the best deals are still probably going to come around Thanksgiving and Black Friday.
To optimize savings, experts say make a list of gifts with current prices, determine a good discount price, and be reasonable about what you're willing to pay. And if you're looking for a fun and unique gift while you're holiday shopping, listen to this. A local entrepreneur is now $300,000 richer, and he just appeared on Shark Tank last night. His invention is called Square Keg, and he wants to take drinks on demand to a whole new level. Tim Laux recently quit his corporate job to pursue this dream. He came up with the idea back in 2017, saying kegs needed an upgrade, and he had an idea. His kegs are square, they fit in the fridge, and they're portable. He took his idea to the wealthy sharks, hoping they would take his Spokane Valley shop to new heights.
Being an entrepreneur, I think a lot of times it gets portrayed as being like glamorous or whatever, overnight success. That's all complete bogus. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but the most gratifying all at the same time.
His company has only 5 employees for now, but he's eager to expand when he's able to. He's thankful for his deal with the Sharks and the new opportunities heading his way in the future. And coming up on 4 News Now, President Biden discussed his plans on improving the environment. And a folk festival in Spokane this weekend. The details so you can put it on your schedule for tomorrow.
Indoor events are probably on the deal because it has been chilly all week long, and it looks like all next week as well. It's going to be pretty darn cold out there, at least for November standards. I'm tracking some fog this evening, and also when our next snow could possibly fall around the inland northwest. Who could see a few flakes later this week? That's coming up.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Now, are Big Macs really shrinking, or are my hands getting bigger?
Whoa, easy, big guy. Look, a Big Carl.
Thank goodness.
Bite into a bigger, beefier burger. The Big Carl, only at Carl's Jr.
Dear Detour, you took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong. Toyota Trucks.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Visit your local Toyota dealer to learn more. Reserve yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Watch me. Watch me jump, dive, and splash. Put me by a pool, I'll be soaked in a flash. A girl in the water to swim like a fish. Just 2 simple legs. That was my wish. I'm a sea turtle, shark, a seal on a slide. This is my day of fun, with nothing to hide. Watch me. Pioneers in orthotic and prosthetic technology at Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere.
Every time you use your ICCU Premier Rewards Visa card, you're earning rewards. Whether it's cash back or points, being a member of Idaho Central really pays back. Start earning points and getting cash back for your everyday purchases. It's a win-win. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe life should be rewarding.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just 1 day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
We have big news.
Really big.
Turns out the Big Mac isn't actually that big, unlike the really big Carl, which is...
How juicy.
Hey, we're live.
It's just you and me, baby.
I'm uncomfortable.
Bite into a really big burger. The really big Carl, only at Carl's Jr.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now, Special Edition.
And we'll start off with your forecast, where I'm watching quite a bit of fog trying to develop around the inland northwest this evening. So let's take it over to the fog tracker satellite, peering down from space, and we have seen lots of fog around the Palouse. It actually started right in the middle of the afternoon, right in the middle of the Cougar football game, and has slowly been tracking its way to the north, and that is what we are seeing right now, creeping its way into the Spokane area. We're also seeing some fog around Bonners Ferry, around Coeur d'Alene, the Omak area, and right along the Canada border. Even some fog trying to creep down into the LC Valley, but here it is. Basically, if you head south of downtown, if you head south of the valley towards Freeman, you head south of Coeur d'Alene down Highway 95, you're going to run into some low clouds and fog pretty quickly. Medical Lake, Cheney, Spangle, all areas where you will likely need the ice scraper in the morning. And we will see this fog kind of move through the metro corridor off and on as we head throughout the rest of the night. Temperatures down into the teens and low 20s. Very similar to what we have been seeing over the past several days. Not a lot of changes in our temperatures, at least for now. I'll show you how long this cold weather sticks around coming up.
Thanks, Matt. Well, ski season officially started in the inland northwest. 49 degrees north opened for the season yesterday, and people wasted no time getting on the chairlifts and carving down the mountain. Lookout Pass is open today and a week ahead of schedule. Silver and Schweitzer are opening next week.
We can no longer plead ignorance to the consequences of our actions or continue to repeat our mistakes. Everyone has to keep accelerating efforts throughout this decisive decade.
That was the president's message to the world to come together to combat climate change. President Biden also saying the United States is following through on its climate commitments he made at last year's climate conference. Biden citing the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act, which included close to $370 billion for climate and clean energy programs. But the president's message was not welcomed by everyone. Developing nations going as far as demanding financial aid for irreversible damage caused by climate change. And the 27th annual Fall Folk Festival is this weekend at Spokane Community College. You can listen to Ashkenazi Jewish music. You can learn how to do a Japanese folk dance or take a workshop on how to play with the washtop bass. All are welcome to celebrate the cultural diversity of the inland northwest. The event and parking are free. The Folk Festival was a success today, and you still have a chance to make an appearance tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And coming up next on 4 News Now, if you're feeling sad about the cold weather holding you back from your biking journey, well, we catch up with some winter bikers on our Air 4 adventure coming up. And Washington State football is going bowling. The Cougars defeated Arizona State 28-18 in a heated game. And we have a full post-game report coming up.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning is your family-owned and operated #1 HVAC contractor in the Northwest. Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning would like to introduce our own carbon reduction program. Buy a new energy-efficient furnace from Bill's Heating and receive a matching air conditioner with installation absolutely free. No hidden fees, no conditions, no exceptions. Buy a furnace, get a free AC from Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call today for estimates and repairs.
Remote car starts, light bars, aggressive winter tires. Nobody knows how to prepare your vehicle better for winter than the pros at Snow's Auto. And this week, they are marking down some of the best buys of the year on all stereos, speakers, subwoofers, and amps as we give thanks to our rides in November with cool new upgrades to keep you warm in the cold months ahead. Snow's Auto does it all.
Oh, life, how we admire you, are deeply fascinated by you. All your twists and turns and wild rides you take us on. The ups and the downs. Life, you live inside all of us, breathing, growing, beating. You are the reason we'll always provide world-class healthcare. Providence, we see the life in you.
You didn't choose cat allergies. You didn't choose your hairline, hot flashes, the flu, or that thing when your knee just gives out for no reason. You didn't choose your bad back or this, or that. You didn't choose depression, melanoma, or lactose intolerance. But with Kaiser Permanente, you can choose your doctor who works with other best-in-class specialists to care for all that is you.
Here in Okanagan Country, we love winter. The possibilities are endless. Crisp blue skies, sparkling snow, warm hospitality. We cherish our wide open spaces, and we know you will too. We're here, and we're open for adventure.
Kelly's all new.
That's you, girl.
All fall.
Weekdays at 4.
Well, for a forecast focus tonight, it has been quite a whiplash of weather here over the past week to 10 days and really over the past couple of months. We want to look at consistent warmth or consistent cold. We use average temperature. We take all the temperature data for a whole month. We slam it together and we pop it out with one number. And so we had a record warm October in 141 years of records in Spokane with an average of 55. And now, so far, in November, our average is all the way down to 33. So that is a huge temperature drop that you have been feeling here for the past few days. If this holds out for the rest of the month, by the way, this would be in the top 20 for coldest months of November. So we'll see how that goes, but it's definitely trending that direction as we remain our lows well below the average. In fact, we're already there already with temperatures in the 20s outside in most of the inland Northwest. Our average low still in the 30s at this point in November. We'll see some teens for the next couple of days, slowly rising back up into the 20s with some warmer air, I say that in quotes, moving in. Here's your lows for tonight. Despite some fog in the area, I do think we will get down to the teens in many areas. It's not going to be for very long, but you will definitely notice that chill if you are up and getting stuff done early on Sunday morning. Our trend in the afternoon is also getting warmer. We got up to about 37, 38 degrees today. We're going to hover in that range as well, but that is still well below our average, which is in the low 40s at this point in the year. So we're running anywhere between 5 and 10 degrees below. And that is going to be very interesting to see how that plays out by the time we get to the end of the month in the records. But here you go. At least it's above freezing. That'll melt off some more of that snow from your lawn, from your roof, etc. as we head through the afternoon hours, and more sunshine on the way as well. So that is always a good thing. It's probably going to be a little bit cloudier for the afternoon than it has been for the past couple of days. I'll show you why there in a moment. And of course, you have fog in the morning and you have fog developing again in the overnight. We're stuck in high pressure now, and that means that fog and the cloudy morning conditions are just going to show up day after day after day. Same goes if you're headed to look out at 49 tomorrow. Temperature's not all that different from down in the valleys as this cold air mass sits over us, and we'll likely see a little bit of fogginess and cloudiness up in the mountains, at least to start the day. There is some snow in the region, but that's down in eastern Oregon and is pulling away from us. In fact, really, we're just kind of in the in a dry pocket here, and that wet stuff over by Vancouver Island not expected to amount to much of anything. Just a little bit of extra cloud cover for tomorrow afternoon. Our next chance to see a little bit of snow in the region, that is going to come as we head into Wednesday night and into Thursday. A cold front drops through Montana. It's actually going to reinforce this cold air, so it's not going anywhere fast. Bonners Ferry folks, Medellin Falls folks, I'd be looking for a chance for snow. Also keeping an eye on next week, not this coming week, but the week after that. That's probably the first chance for us to see some precipitation, at least more widespread. There's your temperatures, just staying as far as they go.
Thanks, Matt. Well, as the temperatures continue to drop, most people wouldn't think about going for a bike ride. We're sure one group of winter cyclists will be gearing up to pedal through the snow this winter. In this week's Air 4 Adventure, we give you a bird's eye view of how they managed to carve through Canfield Mountain outside of Coeur d'Alene.
We're out here fat biking on Canfield Mountain. I got a ton of snow the last few days, so I'm gonna go see what we can do. So this is part of its Forest Service property, and it's been a recreational area for forever. Fat biking is basically modified mountain bikes. They're built around really big tires, so that allows you to ride on top of groomed snow or somewhat packed snow. feels like single track in the summertime, but you're in the middle of winter, cruising down a snowy, beautiful snowy trail. When it gets this deep, sometimes it gets really tough. But it is always fun to be out in the snow. And so certain trails are better for deep snow than others. It's safe to say that it's always a lot of work, but it's fun work. Most bike shops will have 1 or 2 demo bikes or rentals. I know we do a Vertical Earth, and I'm pretty sure all the other bike shops around do. It is a little different skill riding a fat bike. You have to just drop the tire pressure down to the point where you can ride on the snow. It's so beautiful up there. You get up there on top of the mountain and get just the huge vistas. And yeah, it can be really nice.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. Oh, creamy ranch. Oh, melty Swiss. Oh, roasty beef. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
It's time to get your best night's sleep and save big on Tempur-Pedic. Now at Sleep More, inside More Furniture.
Get fitted for your perfect night's sleep with the very best in high-end mattresses.
Take home your Tempur-Pedic mattress for as little as $33 a month.
Pay no money down and get interest-free financing for 60 months. And you'll also get a $300 More Furniture gift card.
Get the rest you deserve without losing any sleep over the price for only $33 a month.
Your best night's sleep is within reach at Sleep More, inside More Furniture.
At Cal Cars, we're proud to live in the United States of America. We are blessed with so many opportunities provided by our servicemen and women that this Veterans Weekend, we'd like to pause and give thanks to our armed forces and give everyone a free American flag who comes in for a test drive at any one of our 3 locations. And in celebration of this 84th Veterans Day, we'll be donating $184 for each vehicle sold to Heroes Homestead this week at Cal.
This year's Thanksgiving dinner comes with a side of inflation. How much more will holiday groceries cost, and is a homemade dinner still cheaper than a to-go option? Get our price check and a list of local places that will do the cooking for you Monday on Good Morning Northwest.
Remote starts, heated seats, and hot tunes. Nobody knows how to prepare your vehicle for winter better than the pros at Snows.
Good morning.
Rise and shine.
Watch Daytime's #1 duo, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Thanks to you, we have collected thousands of coats during this year's Coats for Kids campaign. The coats have now been cleaned thanks to Alsco and are ready for distribution. If you know a child in need of a warm winter coat, go to KXLY.com/coatsforkids to find a distribution location near you.
A special thanks to Albertsons Safeway for sponsoring Coats for Kids. Their dedication to this community will keep thousands of kids warm this winter. Stop by an Albertsons or Safeway and say thanks.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. Now that is a buffalo chicken sandwich. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
4 News Now is brought to you by All Lines Insurance at alllinesinsured.com.
Washington State football is once again going to a bowl game. The Cougars defeated Arizona State 28-18. Sports director Julian Minensone has the latest on the big win for the Cougs.
The goal of every team is to add one more game to the end of their schedule, and Washington State did just that. The Cougars got ahead of Arizona State and really never looked back in this one. The Cougars now have 6 wins and prove once again that there is no better feeling than going to a bowl game.
Bowl, I don't know, what does that say? Bound, bowl bound.
Someone on the team owes running back Nakia Watson a steak dinner. Watson has been dominant the last 2 weeks, including 3 touchdowns today.
And his physicality, his mindset, and like I said, he's been a warrior. He's wanted to get back and prove it, and I think he's had one heck of a season. Let's not just talk about the last 2 games. You know, Nakia has far exceeded expectations.
And the defense did its thing like it has all season long. Another big interception in this one, and a couple big plays in the backfield.
We came out with a plan, and we were trying to execute. We went out there, we executed the plan. That was the biggest part. And for a game to start with such a big play that Brennan gave us, I mean, it's hard not to be excited about that.
Not including the 2020 COVID season, this makes it 7 straight years the Cougs have made a bowl game.
This team wants to finish. They want to keep competing. They earned an opportunity to keep playing together, which is as big for the senior class as it is for those true freshmen that are going to get extra practices. But we want to finish. We feel like we're a good team. We really do. And they want to go out there and prove it, and I'm proud to coach these guys.
And the Cougars will now hit the road next week to take on Arizona. Kickoff for that one is at 11 a.m. in Tucson. In Pullman tonight, Julian Minensone for News Now Sports.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. A tranquil lake, a serene sky, an emerald forest, a secret hideout. Thanks for being there just when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Visit your local Toyota dealer to learn more. Reserve yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
This is a town called Basic. It's pretty hard to stand out around here. But if you pull up in a 2022 Nissan Rogue, you'll stand out before your feet even hit the pavement.
Can you make mine look like that?
Anything but basic. The 2022 Nissan Rogue. Get 2.19% financing for 36 months on the 2022 Nissan Rogue with best-in-class fuel economy.
Tune in with me for some classical classics.
Tune in with me, weekday mornings at 7 on MeTV 4.2.
Oh, life, how small you start. In the beautiful beat of a tiny heart. A wonder to witness, a pearl so rare. Will surround you with love and world-class health care. Providence. We see the life in you.
This is a story of first downs and second chances.
I wanted to keep playing, but my feet hurt.
You'd think all those big league experts could have helped.
You have access to anything, but none of it worked.
His football career ended, but his plantar fasciitis pain didn't. Till he found the Good Feet store.
I got fitted for my arch supports. Let me tell you something. They work.
Now, he recommends Good Feet to
anybody. If you move, go to the Good Feet store.
So get moving. Come in for your free fitting.
Every time you use your ICCU Premier Rewards Visa card, you're earning rewards. Whether it's cash back or points, being a member of Idaho Central really pays back. Start earning points and getting cash back for your everyday purchases. It's a win-win. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe life should be rewarding.
Well, I hope you're used to the cold weather, and if not, you will be by the end of this week. It seems to be fairly unending. In fact, it even gets colder as we head into about this time next week after a brief warm-up.
All right, thanks, Matt. Well, his first name already sounds very emotionally friendly, but now actor Rainn Wilson is making a name change to demand world leaders to take action on climate change, specifically to stop the melting of the Arctic ice. The Office star tweeted he's switching up his name to Rainfall Heatwave Extreme Winter Wilson. It's a mouthful, but he says it's not a joke. It's as serious as the melting Arctic. Wilson used Arctic Base Camp Online Arctic Risk Name Generator to come up with it. Well, that is one way to send a message. Enjoy your Saturday night.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.